What's going on, guys? Hey, what's up? How are ya? It is Sunday afternoon, the last Sunday for a little bit that we'll be together. But I'm sure, with the NFL winding down and all that, that's probably where you want to be. Hopefully your team's still in it. If not, hey, there's always next year. But man, these shadow racing guys, they are getting after it. Just about loaded in. Just saw the invite from the one and only J-Pop pop up. So we're gonna go ahead and grab that and get in here pretty quick. I know, apologize. Kind of lost track a little bit of time keeping up with these guys for qualifying and talking about practice and talking about these tickets and all that the winner's gonna get. It's been a phenomenal 9 weeks. All culminates tonight right here at Talladega, and a little bit of a draft package change, courtesy of the one and only J-Pa. You recognize him from the NNR series. He's been instrumental in a lot of the changes and a lot of the races that have been ran here with Shadows League as well. But definitely glad that everybody's here. It's gonna be one hell of a race. You'll see what I mean about that draft package as we start to go through. Man, it's gonna be a lot of fun. I'll show you here in just a second, but let me change up a couple settings here so we're gonna be good to go. And it looks like on the pole, one-time winner this year, gonna be the 43 of Jose 95. To his outside is going to be the 27 of Papa Bear. Papa Bear does phenomenal at these restrictor plate tracks. Something happened right there, not quite sure. Either word didn't get around that they were running a... Okay, something happened with experts, so they're going to go ahead and back out and rack and stack them all back up one more time. Guys out there in chat, there is the one and only Unforgotten Shadow. Shadow created this league. Very, very generous in the overall prize. The winner of this this series is down to 2, maybe 3 people. There is an outside chance, but right now King Mathers has about a 30-point lead back to TGM Beast, and then Holy Nugget back there in P3, but he's got a much larger point deficit. He would just about have to win both stages and the race, and King Mathers and TGM Beast have some very unfortunate luck. So obviously we don't wish on that, but man, it's gonna be good. Heard J-Pa Militia is playing spoiler tonight. Man, J-Pa Militia has been running strong all season long, whether you're right here in Shadow or Shadows Racing League, or if you're over in the NNR Xfinity Series or the Cup Series as well. I mean, J-Pa won this last week and turned down for what? So yeah, there's a little bit of what used to be the NAOR hashtag J-Pa Militia all over the place, spread throughout many different races. So Quiet, he's saying let's go boss. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. Ungonden, unless that's something else spelled backwards. Either way, man, thank you very much for the follow. Absolutely appreciate it. All right, so their clock's winding down. Everybody's back in the lobby. Guessing Expert was able to get loaded back in. And they got about 5 seconds left. So J-Pa or somebody else should be sending me one more invite so we can get in, get going, and get gone. They are running stages tonight, so that'll be interesting. Let's see. Shadow says, according to Pop Bear, Beast would have to finish higher than Mathers in both stages and win the race. So there you go. I absolutely plan to do just that. Ungonden, please make sure you keep the notifications turned on so you know every time I go live. I've been covering Shadow Racing League for the past 3 months or so. I also broadcast for the NNR, Truck, Xfinity, and Cup Series races on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Every now and then, let me see, just waiting on that counter to finish counting down. Every now and then, also American Ethanol and a couple others. But yeah, definitely appreciate you coming out, hanging out, chatting up, keeping us all company. You're in for one hell of a race, again, with a different rules package at Talladega. You'll see that right off the bat, because instead of seeing all the guys on the bottom line kind of in a big, long wagon train, you're going to see them high side, middle side, low side, all different kinds of sides in order to get it done. So we'll back out, go through the field. I imagine that they're probably going to take a pace lap to load back in where they were supposed to be. I don't imagine everybody lost their spot just because they had to back out to get this going again. So we saw that the 43 of Jose 95 started on pole. They're going to line back up, and we'll go through. Might be a little bit more difficult to go through the field, but I'll go through as far as position goes, but I'll still go through the entire field car by car. This wire is annoying. All right, so here we go. Obviously, we know J-Pie, he's going to be backing out. He's just here hanging out to get the field started. And then we've got the 41 of Cole, 315, 78 of Expert Racing, 21 of TGM Beast, one of our guys contending for that championship. Holy Nugget, far shot, but has a shot to get it done. We'll keep up with him as well. There's a 19 of Titan, 48 of Alpha York, 27 of NNR Papa Bear, one of the guys also, just like Alpha York and J-Pa, been very, very instrumental in the way that this season has kicked off. 17 of old Q-Dog. He's your current leader in the NNR Xfinity Series. Good to see him out here rocking those Sunny D colors. Then you got the 20 of King Mathers. King Mathers right now has a good 30-point lead on the rest of the field. So we'll have to see how he's going to maintain that points lead throughout the stages, throughout the race. And we'll see if we're going to be talking to him when it's all said and done tonight. 43 of Jose 95. Like I said, nope, not going to take that pole from him. He's going to be leading the field to green. The 1 of NNR Trippy in that one Monster Energy machine. 13 of Boss EGO in those Geico military colors. Pride in Nassau, Bahamas. 18 of NASCAR Fan. 14 of Yotes King. I'm going to talk a little bit more about him. He's going to be one of our up-and-coming streamers very, very soon. 16 of Slowing in the Way. Still want to call this guy fast in victory lane. When one of these races is over, could tonight be the night for him? 22 of J-Pa. Again, he's all the way back at tail end of the field, and that means we have gone through the field. Again, back to the 41, so now I'm going to try to get back up to the back up. We're seeing some people go down pit road. Not quite sure what that's all about. Going to work our way back up to Jose right now. There he is. So Jose right now, he's just got the 27 of Pop Bear right behind him, and the 20 of King Mathers. Some people you saw going down pit road, I'm guessing just their first round of adjustments. I don't know. But I also saw, I think I saw the 27 back on pit road, if I'm not mistaken. So they're going to finish out this pace lap and then get double file back up. Did the 78 leave pit road? No, he is stuck there. So something happened with Experts Racing connection, and it looks like that is going to be it. And more than likely, they said, you know, we can't back out. Again, we're running about an hour behind. But either way, Expert, I'll tell you what, Expert, if you're out there and listening, you want to come up to the booth, be my guest, sir. Come on up. All right, so they are all, let me actually go ahead and unmute that. Okay.
There we go.
And there we go. All right, so ladies and gents, the one and only Expert Racing. Y'all have seen me put out messages for his brand new podcast in the chat many, many times. Expert, welcome to the booth for the very first time. Shadow Racing League, Sunday afternoon from Talladega. Championship race, my friend. Here we go, 27:43. They're going to be our top two, King Mathers and Yotes King. That's going to be our top four, getting ready to address this restart zone. Throttle away, sir.
Definitely. You mind if I actually get it, whenever you get a chance, an invite to the lobby? It kind of sent me out real quick.
Absolutely, can do that. Let's see. In fact, I'll go ahead and do that right now while we're waiting. Or not necessarily waiting, but you know what I mean. So you'll be able to see the action on the right-hand side, and at the same time, are you not online?
I'm trying to. My internet's been it's been an issue. I can send you a message real quick if that's easier.
Yeah, go ahead and do that. Go ahead and do that. Rock, buddy, thank you very much for being right there. Let's see. There you go, sir.
There we go.
All right, so right now 17 to Q-Dog. He's got the high side moving. All right, the big difference that I was talking about, I'm sorry, first off, Rock, thank you very much for coming out, and thank you very, very much for those 500 bits. Oh, man. So the draft package that I was talking about earlier, you're going to see this play out, and right now the 19 and company not exactly doing what they were supposed to. 19 pushing that 13 Geico military Camry all across the bottom. But on the bottom, they can't hook up and push. On the top side, they can push all they want to their heart's desire. And that's going to help keep the field 2x2, 3x3, many rows back. And it's going to be a great race. So if you want to get hooked up, you got to go up high. There will be no wagon training on that bottom line. J-Pod ran this package during an NNR Xfinity race months ago, and it proved to be great. I was a bit skeptical at first. Both me and the one and only Rick James called that broadcast, and it turned out to be one of the best Dega races ever. Expert, you loaded in now, buddy.
Yes, sir. And one thing in practice earlier when I was practicing with these guys and trying to get everything set up for this race, one thing these guys talk about is the availability for 3 and 4 wide moves like we were seeing right now. Alpha York took the advantage of the middle, which sometimes usually is not the best line to go unless you have some help. Well, you can definitely tell he's got some help now in that middle line as he tries to get to the front and clears himself on the bottom here heading into turn 1.
Yeah, Alpha York able to drop down below who was then at first place, the 20 of King Mathers. So Alpha, go ahead. He went on down, grabbed the spot, pulled back up in front of King Mathers. Now Alpha is in the catbird seat because they can't stay locked up on that bottom line. Only the top 2 lines can stay hooked up, just as you see the 20 of King Mathers make contact with the back end of that Ally Camaro and going to try to push on up. Just as I say that, Trippy comes up to the high side. So you see exactly what I was talking about. They can't push on that bottom line. So the top side is where everybody wants to be. It's going to be where all the speed, all the momentum, all of everything is, all race long. I'm riding along with Alpha York as one of our onboards. Jose 95 has the other one. So we'll be able to keep up with laps and fuel and any kind of strategy, position, whatnot, all throughout this race. But Expert, now that you're in here, buddy, thank you very much for coming out, hanging out. And it's going to be one hell of a race with these guys here at Dega for their championship race.
Certainly, and this provides a whole new aspect like you were talking about. As a guy that even was racing Nomad last night, on the bottom with this type of pack, though, it provides the ability for a whole new different repertoire of moves to be able to make. You can make a slide job out of here. If the bottom is open, you can make a slide job actually here. If you have the momentum and space on that top line, you could pick up spots by going for a slide job or something like that at the track. And of course, like we've seen, even though the bottom does not necessarily have the momentum, the availability to make that middle line work, especially in the tri-oval on the front stretch or here on the back stretch, if you have that run, that is open to these drivers. So expect the playbook to be wide open for these drivers as they look to try to get positions in a mostly unorthodox way than what we're used to seeing.
Yeah, it's pretty much reversing the way that everybody here is used to running Dega. Usually everybody will run the bottom, just one big conga line all the way back, but that's not the way that they're capable of racing tonight. And one of the possible perils of having to only be able to run and push on that high side is going to be that wall. Only those with the steadiest of hands, the steadiest of wheels is going to be able to get into turns 1 and 2 as well as 3 and 4 wide open with somebody or more than one somebody giving you a big old push down that backstretch or through the tri-oval and not hit the wall. You hit the wall, you screw up the race of many other people behind you. That's got to be a pressure out here as well. Looks like now the 22 of J-Pa, I didn't think he was running. I guess he decided he was going to go ahead, or maybe he has been running. And I tell you what, Expert, with all the different broadcasts, all the different streams, all the different races, all the different leagues and communities, they kind of blend in after just a little bit. So J-Pa could have been running this the entire time. No, it's actually, you're right. No, we got a wreck. It looks like the 17 of Q-Dog got a little bit of a tap and got sent around. So far on Alpha's stream, there it is. There is that first caution that's come out. But yeah, no, I was wrong. J-Pa has been running this. It's the NNR Xfinity Series on Tuesday night at 8:30 Eastern that he gets set up, but he does not run. He is just the series admin. So, yeah, it's all up here. Just got to get it right out. Got to get it out in the right thought. There we go.
About to say, busy man of many talents. So you get offered by many different leagues, and you kind of get them mixed up at sometimes. I know what you mean by that.
Absolutely. And I was starting to talk about you a little bit, just as you needed the invite to get in here. But ladies and gents, go on out and give this link right here a quick follow. This is for a brand new podcast that just started less than a month ago, and well over 5,000 people have come across, seen the stream, or seen the page and liked it, followed it. Some tuned in different times on whether on the original streaming night or on later replays. But one hell of a thing. If you're a baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer, wrestling, whatever it is, go check them out. It's definitely worth your time. We're back under green on the backstretch. 48 of Alpha York up high with the deuce of Holy Nugget, and then the 27 of Pop Bear. All top three. J-Pa right now leading the train in the middle line. I want to think, Expert, that's probably the line that is most safe around this track tonight.
Definitely, it provides you some options, especially if you're not comfortable enough getting right up against the wall. You can see how aggressive those guys are pushing on the outside line. And usually you can see that on the bottom line if that was allowed, but of course in this package, like we mentioned, it's not. And you can see the train that goes on through the whole field, most of the guys trying to get up to that high side, and then you can see guys trying to split in the corners, trying to get that momentum, heading through the back straightaway and such. But the look for these guys is to try to go and try to make the momentum on the high side and then carry it over to the bottom lanes. That's got to be the idea for these guys, so they can stay within the rules of the package, but also pick up the well-needed positions that they need. Like you mentioned, the middle line may be the most available area because you have the option of, hey, if I want to get to the high side, I can, or hey, the bottom's available for me as the shortest way around the track. If I have the momentum, let me try to get down there.
Expert, look at this three-wide racing. J-Pa to lead, the entire pack in his rear view. They were just four wide right there. Alpha York threading the needle to the outside of the one. A Trippy right back behind the two of Holy Nugget. Holy latched onto that double deuce. Here comes the 48 down low one more time. And now the 27 of Papa Bear. High, wide, and handsome with full steam ahead to the outside of the deuce, but with no help, had to drop on back in line. So now pretty much the high side is completely abandoned. It's going to be the middle line. Alpha York down on the low line with a little bit of help, but those guys can hook up. So now a couple guys get back out onto the high side. give it a little bit of a shove. Holy Nugget had the 27 of Pop Bear, a little bit of a side draft. The one of Trippy behind. Here comes the 43 of Jose 95. Can he get that slide job done that you were talking about? He might be able to, and yes, 43 with a big slide job, power move, as HD Motorsports would have said. Back to the lead, Jose 95.
And that's going to be a big move for him. Of course, track position is vital here at these restrictor plates, as right now Holy Nugget is stuck in the quote-unquote sucker hole as he heads to the back of those two lines, and that's going to be an issue for the guy stuck in the middle without being able to latch up. Is if you get stuck right there and have no help, you're not going to be able to go very far, as Alpha moved up to the top line, and these guys are blocking all over, trying to catch the line with the most momentum to try to get to the front.
Ooh, TDMB's down low, 48 in the second line, J-Pie in the third, 14 of Yotes King was the one of Trippy. They stay 4 wide all the way through 3 and 4, clean as a whistle down the backstretch. This is the purpose of this draft package. By now, Expert, we would see everybody on that bottom line, and that would be it. This is phenomenal. This is exactly what Talladega of yesteryear used to look like. This is the way the racing needs to be. Expert, when these guys are done with this race, they are going to be wore out.
Definitely mentally and physically, especially with 4-speed back wheels. You can definitely see where this is going to be a test for these drivers. You got to keep your head on a swivel, especially when you're out there. We're seeing the 3 and 4 wide moves that these guys are making, and it's something that these guys are going to have to keep their eye on. The strategy is non-stop in their head right now about where they have to put these machines to try to get to the front or maintain a position, because fuel strategy may into an issue here. They pitted before the green flag actually went in the air for this race, and that allowed them to possibly have 8 laps of fuel that they could either possibly attempt to save or either go down for a splash. So there's varying strategies that might come down towards the end of this stage, or possibly into next stage, if a lot of different cautions and variables get thrown into the mix.
4 wide again now, going into turns 1 and 2. Looks like the guy all the way up on top might have thought a little bit better of it, but then again, you're going from 4 lanes back down to 3. Shadow, if you're still out there, you are watching one hell of a race. Actually, I see you now, Bama. Sorry, I didn't see you just a little bit ago. Glad you're out there. Thanks for coming out, hanging out. Definitely appreciate that. Now the 14 of Yotes King on that bottom line, and he's got a little bit of help, but again, those guys cannot hook up. So what do they do here, Expert? They move on up, get to the next highest line where they can push all the way around, keep that high side momentum going, keep the draft going, keep the pushing, keep the pulling. They're going to try it again, 4 wide across the start stripe. I think if that was the end of the race right there, that would have been phenomenal, and I believe it would have gone to the 14 of Yotes King.
It could have possibly happened, but right now the 16 dropping back out of that 4 wide issue, as he probably caught the worst end of that. But the look for these guys, and we talked about it, communication has to be key with your drafting partners around this track right now. These guys, some of them are in a big party, some of them are independent by themselves. But the lookout for these guys is, hey, we got to be able to communicate whether we're with our drafting partners or not, to try our best to maintain our race, but also the guys around us as well. As right now you can see as they exited off of 4, Alpha kind of got into the wall there, but these guys have just been making this trial look exciting every time they pass through it. 3 and 4 wide racing, sometimes maybe even getting close to 5 wide as they head down the front and back straightaways. It's definitely been exciting so far.
Yep, new leader, I believe, going to be for the first time. The one of NNR Trip still has the 14 on the bottom line. They are side by side. Rock NASCAR out there in chat saying, now that was a clip worthy. Rock, I 110% agree with you, buddy. That was phenomenal. And Rock, there's a couple guys in here that have never raced with Shadows Racing League before. Their first time. And boy, I don't think they realize exactly what it is they were stepping into. We've got the proverbial hornet's nest, as my buddy HD used to use pretty often, and they are side by side. The last time I saw this, or anything close to this, was a clip many moons ago, where we ran an all ARCA schemed, or an all IROC schemed rather, race for what everybody believed to be was a special event, which later, turned out not to be so much. But they were 3 wide for 3, 4, 5 laps, and man, that clip will forever stick out to be very special. New challenger for the lead, that Geico Camaro for the one and only Boss E-Geo. 14's going to try to challenge up high. They're going to run 3 wide one more time across the stripe. 13 would have led that one.
One thing to notice about these guys, since we are going to probably be crowning a champion here tonight, a lot of these guys, even talking to Alpha before the race, he mentioned himself that, hey, I got nothing to lose out here. I'm going for the win. So these guys, the aggression is turned and dialed all the way up to 11 for some of these guys. Mathers can play conservative if he wants to, but he's getting in the mix as well. So these guys are just out here having fun, and it's fun up here to watch them try to battle it out and duke it out for the win, even with the championship battle still well in play.
I tell you what, I think J-Pod needs to get a hold of somebody and patent this draft package. No, I have not seen racing like this in a very long time, and it's all because he's got a pretty good handle on a lot of things. J-Pop, if you go back and you watch this, or if you're listening while you're racing, congratulations, buddy. You came up with one hell of a way to keep everybody together. I mentioned earlier that the one and only Alpha York is one of our onboards tonight, right along with Jose 95. Well, he just pulled that Ally Camaro down pit road. He's going to be exiting as these guys are going to come flying on by. We should start to see more and more duck on down pit road. Next time by, I'll go ahead and grab a lap count, see exactly where he sits, or where we sit. Right now, though, the 17 of Q-Dog, kind of used to talking about him on Wednesday nights, getting a big old shove from the 27 of Pop Bear, and then TGM Beast. He's one of the championship hopefuls in the most forward spot. So right now, sitting P3.
Definitely, and looking at a lot of these guys and how they're planning on racing this one out. We talked about Alpha going down pit road already. That shows the varying strategies like we talked about earlier with these guys, possibly either going for a win. They're experimenting right now with, as we saw in the beginning of this race, they're experimenting with what they can do with these cars in this huge pack and seeing what they can do as far as pit strategy as well. So it's a big toss-up on what all these drivers can do, and we're learning from it right now.
Absolutely. All right, I told you I'd go ahead and grab you a lap count, and as the 48 came on out and came across the start stripe, he said 5 laps remaining. So we got to be under 5 to go. Might be a little bit different with those out here on track, but I got to figure somebody that has been laying in the back, staying half throttle, just really staying in the draft, might be able to go the full distance. As you see that 48 Ally Camaro come on by the screen right there, and here comes that pack 2 and 3 wide with the 20 of King Mathers up front. There's the one of Trippy down low. He's still got a mirror full of that double deuce. I could just imagine what Alpha York is seeing in his rear view. It's got to look like a monstrous pack. But Expert, when they catch Alpha, does he just go down below that double yellow just to stay out of the way? Or do you think all these guys are going to have to find a hole and navigate around him?
I mean, that could definitely be an option. You can see how close he is hugging that double yellow. Another thing he could possibly do is go all the way up the track. I mean, of course, it's going to be like we talked about before, with the varying strategies and different positions of these guys. If they are too wide, I'd imagine he could go all the way up top, but them being 3 and 4 wide, it's going to come down to some form of communication in which he can be like, okay, I'm committed to this spot you guys have to get around me. You know, something like that to where these guys are going to have to be prepared as soon as they catch him, because I think it's no question he's probably going to end up getting caught here pretty soon.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm watching this race. Here, the 20 and the 21 nose to tail. Now the 22 is getting a big old push from the 20 of King Mathers, 14 of Yotes, 18. I'm sorry, that's a 16 Fraternal Order of Eagles car with the 19 on the bottom. We're about to find out a little bit of contact. And that's going to put J-Pa a little bit further back than he'd probably like. And there goes the 48. He's actually going to go ahead and absorb that field, or absorb that push from the 19. So he will be the first car one lap down. And when we get to that stage break in just 2 very short laps, he'll be able to go ahead and get that lucky dog position. But I'm very, very surprised we haven't seen more go down pit road. Why was it that the 48 had to pit before everybody else? Did he just not jockey enough for position, stay a little bit further in the back of this draft longer? I don't get why we haven't had to see more and more go down pit road for at least a half a can.
It could be possibly for an adjustment he wants to make before halfway. Of course, you see he's leading now, so he could be on the lead lap right here and come out next time by and be the leader if he wants to play this strategy, if it works out well for him. But the overall look for him, it could have been damage. It could have been, like we mentioned, a strategy call in some form like that possibly allows him to be able to stay on the lead lap.
Well, with Alpha York out front right there, he literally just got his lap back the old-fashioned way. So congratulations to Alpha York for being able to stay on the lead lap. He'll actually be able to pit here with the leaders to go ahead and grab 4 brand new Eagle Feel Goods, grab everything that you need with fuel, and then come on back out. Don't have the exact top 5. That was a gaggle of cars. I can tell you 7th was Q-Dog, Holy Nugget, Trippy, Pop Bear, slowing in the way, J-Pa, Jose, NASCAR fan. That was from 7th to just about 12th. But we're going to rack and stack them up one more time. Going to work my way back up. In fact, you know what? I'll go ahead and ride along right here with one of our championship hopefuls. Pop Bear in the top spot. Looks like the 13 Geico Military Camaro for Bossy Geo. 19 down low, 21 a Beast. Looks like King Mathers, he's going to go ahead and drop in right behind Beast. And Expert, I just saw one of the things I didn't think I'd ever see at Talladega. The 20 actually moved up rather than dropping on down in order to get in line. I don't think I've ever seen that before, and unless somebody adopts J-Pa's package, I don't think we're going to see that very often.
Definitely not, but this would definitely be a great package to adopt, as we're already seeing here, the entertainment that it's providing you and me and the rest of the people viewing this broadcast. It's definitely been a very exciting and interesting race, and it's kept it. I mean, we don't know what's going to happen. A lot of guys that usually aren't up towards the front are making their names known by being able to get up here with this package, and it's really thrown a wrench in the guys who are the naturalist at the regular pack racing. It's caused a whole new variable to change what is going on and how you can possibly race, as these guys are going all over the place, 3 wide as we head around and count down laps here at Talladega.
Yeah, 3 wide right now, a little bit further in the back. Right now, the top lines, I'm sorry, the top 2, rather, I should say, is still that 13. Looks like, was that Beasts? No, I think that was Holy Nugget. That caught just a little bit of the wall, but right now your current leader is going to be the 13 of Bossy Geo, and here is the 27 of Pop Bear diving down. I'm guessing he forgot to pit under that stage break, so he had to come on down for fuel. Now that makes it even more interesting and makes me ask why a little bit harder. Why, oh why, did the 48 have to come down where Pop Bear, after the stage break, was able to go another 2 laps? That's kind of strange. They're all running presets. None of them were able to alter their gears or do anything. This just straight off the preset slider. You know, 1 through 9. Nobody was able to change their 4th gear or do anything else like that. But hey, under that stage break, and the 48 able to go on down pit road. They should have had enough time to do most of everything they needed to do with their tire pressures, with their wedge, maybe a little tape. I don't know, but we've had more leaders in this race than I think in any of the other Talladega races I've called in quite a while.
Definitely, and something to think about that I don't think any of us have noticed as a factor so far, and it's one of the most basic things in racing. The inside is always the shortest way around the track. So these guys primarily running the high line, that could definitely affect fuel strategy, in which in a whole run you could probably burn a lap to 2 laps more if you're consistently running the high line up top here at Talladega, being such a big track. So that could definitely play a factor into how these guys try to run this track and seeing what could possibly happen.
Absolutely. 22 of J-Pod, now your overall leader. 13 of Bossy Gio right there. Here comes the 20 of King Mathers. He's going to go ahead and make that 3 wide, get on by the 13. 14 of Yotes King had his back. So now you've got the overall points leader right now, the 20 of King Mathers with the 21 of TGM Beast right in his back pocket. 21 has no help. Bossy Gio's keeping it down. Here comes the 21, duck on down for just a little bit of a shot. But again, these guys cannot stay hooked up. So that's allowed a few people to move on by the outside in that second lane. Another challenge for the lead. It looks like it's going to be the 20 of King Mathers. He's going to get past, he's going to move past the 22. It just seems like it's a revolving door of leaders up top. They get to either the lead on the bottom, and then they move on up, or they're on the top, they move on down because they don't want to stay up there, to your point, just burning fuel. They need to be able to go the entire length of the stage, which I'll go ahead and grab a lap count here once either Alpha York or Jose 95 come on by the start stripe next time, but 3 wide for second, third, and beyond.
Definitely, and right now it kicked me out of the lobby, so maybe at the next stage, hopefully we could try to get a invite. I'm co-commentating now off the stream right now. Great stream still, by the way. But these guys are still going crazy. You can see them fanning out in the rear of the field. And right now it seems the guys have pulled ahead as far as the leaders go, so they are fanning out all over the place. This could be what we mentioned before, the availability for these guys to go to the back and attempt to save fuel, or they could be preparing to pit with their own pit strategy. This is opening the door to a lot of different strategies like we talked about before that we could end up possibly seeing.
Yeah, right now 21 of TGM Beast with 22 of J-Pa, the 14 of Yotes King, and then the 16. Right now, top 4, they're in that middle line. They are pushing for all it's worth, and they're in a line that can push. You can push in that second and third line. Bottom line, not so much, and as they get into the trial where it widens out to 4 lanes, you've got a little bit more room to be able to push. You can push in still that second and third rather than and you can't in the first and second. So again, all about the high side, all about the momentum, keeping up with everything, but definitely not that big pack that we saw dominantly or predominantly rather in stage number 1. I'm guessing a few people under that stage break did not pit. They had to peel off like we saw Pop Bear do and grab fuel, maybe just right side tires depending on what their wear was. And yeah, now we got a kind of just one train, but it's not on the bottom. It's in that middle lane.
Definitely, and something that we looked at here is that whenever you predominantly run the bottom line, you can usually save a lot more tire and be able to run as contact back there, and Alpha York going all the way down to the inside wall as seen previously. But one thing you predominantly have to deal with, especially at a track like this, is usually you can run a whole run here at Talladega on one set of tires. So whenever you change that variable of, instead of running the bottom line, the high line being the dominant line, that can change tire strategy as well as fuel strategy like we talked about before, in which your right side tires will burn a lot more and cause a lot more wear as the run goes on, which can cause these guys to miscalculate these tire stops that they're going to need to make later in the run.
Yeah, right now Alpha York with that hard impact to the inside wall after some contact on the track. He is all kinds of messed up. I mean, that Ally hood, he could actually read it if he's able to read upside down. But all kinds of aero damage and whatnot as he comes across the start stripe because he's still on the lead lap. He is racing just about ready to start lap 10 of 27 here in stage number 2. So 17 more laps to run. Pack's starting to form back up just a little bit, but not everybody's here.
And that's going to be the determining factor for a lot of these guys is that if you've already pitted or been in an incident oh, that's not good.
No, not good at all. 21 of TGMB's hard into the inside wall just behind your retired car. And if you want to go ahead and send me a message under this caution, I'll go ahead and bring you back in. They got about 30 seconds or so to go. Yeah, that kind of it's kind of strange how that all came about, where they're not really racing in a big old pack, but they still ended up making contact and enough to bring out the caution.
Definitely, and I'm just happy he didn't hit my car right there. I can bring that back next year and try to race.
There you go.
but definitely not something that, I mean, this could be a big break for Alpha York. I mean, for him right now, and it seems to be, I don't know if it's NASCAR, but it seems to be continually to kick me out right now. But not definitely, this could be a big break for guys like TGM Beast and Alpha York, who could have risked going a lap down there if they couldn't maintain and get on pace and have to deal with that damage. So it's a big break for those guys as well to be able to stay on the lead lap.
Yeah, look, watching right now, the 22 of J-Paw, he is all the way down. It looks like we're going to have another wreck right behind. It looks like something happened. They couldn't maintain where they were on the track. J-Paw was all the way down on the apron. He was not a factor. I believe he was just going to drop to the rear. Not quite sure if he forgot to pit or what the case may be. Did you say you got kicked again?
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of guys were complaining about lag earlier, so that could be an issue as far as the servers as well, which provides another variable into what we can see in the racing later on.
All right, if you need another invite, send me a message, please. We'll try it again.
Yes, sir. Gotta love technical difficulties. Gotta love it.
Yep. All right, there you go. So we're going to work our way back up front one more time. As close as we can anyway. All right, so it's going to be the 19 of Titan and the 13 Geico Military Camaro for Boss E. Gio. He's got the 17 of Q-Dog behind him. There's the 43 of Jose 95 up top and the 21 of TGM Beast. That's going to be your top 5. And yeah, you just mentioned there is that 48 of Alpha York. He didn't bring out that caution, but he was able to get that damage corrected over those two very quick cautions. And now, Expert, we've got this entire pack all back together. Whether they missed going down pit road during that first caution or not, we're all back together. Everybody hungry. Everybody's back in it. Here we go.
Definitely, and this is going to open the door for a lot of guys. I would expect these guys to hold off a little bit more and see if they could try to be more conservative. But as you can see, guys going 3 wide. I don't see that happening currently right now. But down the stretch, the guys that have already been wrecked, I expect them to play a little bit more conservative until we get to that third stage, because they've already felt the risk of, hey, my race could have been over right there with that incident. So right now I'm going to try to play it safe, as the 27 might have got chopped, or he might have just lost the car there for a second, and he goes from bottom to top. And I think that may be lag right there, as you can see on your screen, the 27 rubber banding right there as well.
Yeah, 27 had a little bit of a lag spike, shot back into the one of NNR Trippy, and then shot back up ahead one more time. So Yeah, very, very unfortunate. That's going to bring out the caution one more time. Ladies and gents, when we go back green, I'm going to take a quick break, and then I'll leave it on, well, I'll probably leave it on the leader and come back, and that leader will be in last place. But you got old expert here to kind of guide you along for about a minute, and then I'll be right back. Something just came up that I've got to take care of right quick. Normally, I think this is actually the first time I'm ever actually going to leave a stream for a moment, but I'm going to again go ahead and bring it on up to our leader, and it's going to be the 17 of Q-Dog, and we'll broaden it out, see what happens with the man. And again, guys, I'll be right back.
And here we go, back green here. And right now you can see the field already fanning out all over the place. These guys moving up to the high sign to get to that preferred line right now with these guys, and trying to see if they can try to make a run down the back straightaway. The 43 already moving up top, and you can expect him to try to get up front. He won at Kentucky, I believe, last week, and he's going to try to go back here. And, oh, contact between the 20 and the 17. That's going to knock the 13 down, and luckily enough, he was able to save it. Not sure if he's going to be able to catch back up to the pack, as the draft may be an issue for him if he's already lost it. But you can see how aggressive these guys are getting as they near 4 wide going down the front straightaway, as Alpha York tries to get between the middle right there. The 43 is going to drop behind the 20, and the 17's left all alone there on the bottom. Yes, right now Pete had to go take care of something real quick, so right now it is Expert Racing up here in the booth. Sorry if the commentary is a little bit off. I know I'm not as good or as talented as Mr. Repeat, but hopefully I'm not doing too bad of a job. But right now you can see these guys, they are fanned out on the back straightaway now, heading through 3 and 4. Almost 3 wide for the lead here as the 17 looks to get back up there on the bottom, as he has the one event in our trip all over that back bumper, and expect it to get even more crazy here on the front straightaway as these guys are opening up. The transition between 3 lanes to 4 lanes really provides these guys with a bunch of different racing lines and an opportunity for a lot of different moves, as we saw earlier in the race. But you can see how these tandems have really opened up, as the 27 of Papa Bear just pushing that double deuce of J-Paw, and King Mathers pushing Alpha York in that 48 on the outside. These guys are getting wild here for the lead, as everybody's trying to battle for momentum. Right now the 17 look to possibly get back out front. He's going to cut up to the middle line in front of the 22 of J-Paw, and he's trying to get to that line to where he can possibly be pushed, as NNR Trip is announcing his name back up here for the lead, as you can see him poke up to the inside line. Right now, going to go look at Alpha York's stream real quick, and he is maintaining that outside line, and just looking on his onboard, you can definitely see how difficult it could be for some drivers to maintain that high side line with how close these guys are getting to the wall. But that's what you have to do to maintain that momentum. But right now, that middle line, like we mentioned before, is certainly the preferred line for these guys, despite not being the shortest way around the track. But the guys on the bottom line have been able to maintain with side draft and other factors to be able to stay competitive in here with this different package. But it's definitely been an exciting one to this point. Expect it to get even more exciting down the stretch as we count down laps here in Talladega. As right now it looks like these guys are going to try to move up and make one solid line on that high side. And the bottom's going to have to regroup and see what they can do later in this run.
I am back, ladies and gents. How about a big round of applause for the one and only Expert Racing? Not too bad to be Johnny on the spot saying, hey man, take over right quick. I will be right back. Phenomenal job, man, and you're 100% right. The 17 of Q-Dog still keeping point right now. He's got the one and only J-Paw right in his back pocket. The 27, which we saw had a little bit of contact a little bit earlier, going down the backstretch, had a little bit of a lag shot. Not too bad. Cape says, welcome back, old man Pete. I got your old man right here there, Capers. I got a bone to pick with you about that Martin Truex Jr. car that you're going to be giving away. You know where that car was supposed to go. Right here, you see me pointing at him in a very, very vigorous manner. No, expert, man, phenomenal job on that. I definitely appreciate you, sir.
Well, thank you very much. Also to you and Mama Vols in chat as well, and also More Than a Cape. Definitely love the kind words from all of y'all. A very supportive community. As right now, these guys, a big wreck towards the back of the field. They kind of got mixed up coming off of turn 4.
Yeah, a little bit of a mix-up. Here comes King Mathers down low, and this will be the final lap in stage number 2. Will it be the 20 of King Mathers, who needs every bit, with a big run of TGM Beast up the bottom side? 43 of Jose 95 took that shot in the rear rather than the 21 being able to guide him on by. 17 of Q-Dog going to go ahead and give the 20 a big old push. Here comes the 21 down low one more time. Jose has no help right now whatsoever behind him. At the line, the two guys fighting for this championship. Will the 20 be able to seal that bottom line? No, it looks like the 21 of King Mathers, or the 21 of TGM Beast, he's going to be able to come across, but that's not the line. Here it comes. TGM Beast at the line. So max points for a guy that needs max points in order to depose King Mathers. But Mathers also finished up here inside the top 6, so I don't know exactly how beneficial all that fighting was. Boy, if that was a freight train right there, they'd all be screwed. But man, that's the end of stage 2. Pretty eventful. 20 and a 21 battling it out as you imagine they've been doing all season long. Whew, I tell you. But yeah, gonna rack and stack them up one more time. TGM Beast, Holy Nugget, King Mathers, Q-Dog, Jose 95, Alpha York slowing it away, Cole, AZ Yotes King, and Trip. That was your top 10 at the end of stage 2. Let's get ready for this fired up stage number 3. Our 2 championship contenders, or main contenders rather. I can't forget about Holy Nugget. He's still somewhere in there. They're going to start 1-2. There are your control cars. Expert going into 1 and 2. Stage number 3.
Definitely, and these guys, looking at the points message that was sent out earlier, one thing it talks about, if Mathers gathers 7 points in both stages, I believe he may have. I believe Mathers might have clinched this title, but of course I may be wrong on that. But right now I'm thinking he possibly may have clinched the title already. But with the looks of it, these guys are not going to slow down at all when it comes to battling here. If he did clinch, I expect these guys to even get more aggressive, because heck, you may not have won this championship, but there's still a race on the line right here. As you can see how these guys are battling right now on the bottom, though. The 21 and 2 got locked up for a second, and the 21 had to jump up because, of course, with this package, you cannot do that. So you can see these guys trying to experiment as that high line gets ever more organized, and now tries to head down to the middle line, to where that pushing is still allowed. And like we mentioned before, that middle line seems to be the preferred lane as we head down the stretch.
Yeah, middle line is definitely one of the 2 preferred lines. You got, excuse me, you've got the top line where you can push all the way around, and you have the middle line where you can lock up. So that bottom line, not so much. So it looks like TGM Beast took a little bit of a shot to the door from the 41. So there, well, I guess there it is, ladies and gents. King Mathers will actually go on and be the Shadow Racing League champion when this is all said and done. I don't know that for sure. I mean, yeah, it's out there in chat from Shadow himself, but there's still a whole lot of racing to go. Let's say, King Mathers lags out of this stage. We talked earlier about the servers not exactly being 100% kind. We had to restart qualifying a couple of times, then we had to restart the trying to get into the race. So hey, anything can happen. These Heat 5 servers have not been friendly for months and months. So, yeah, we'll just have to see.
I guess the lucky thing for a lot of these guys is we don't have that infamous bump that you and Rick love to talk about all the time.
Yeah.
So I guess we're lucky in that standard that we don't have to deal with it in this race, but definitely another factor being thrown here into this already multiple layered style or multi-layered style race so far, with the different package and everything that has been thrown into this race so far. And it looks like these guys are spreading out, maybe due to some contact or whatnot, but these guys formed into tandems at the end of last stage, and you can see the battling that's going on as the 48 attempts a slide job here from the middle of the backstretch all the way down into turns 3 and 4, and you can see how these guys are setting up these moves. These moves are not on the drop of a dime. A lot of these moves are set up and thought about by these guys as the race continues, probably multiple laps into it or whatnot. As the 14, you can see lagging right there on the bottom line too. As you can see, the servers are becoming a little bit more unstable as this race continues to go forward.
Yeah, we just saw the 48 of Alpha York come on from P number 5 all the way down, pulled a whole lot of momentum, whole lot of the draft, and pulled his own power move up to P number 1. We just saw the 22 of J-Pa kind of pull up alongside, try a little bit of a side draft, not quite able to complete that. 3 wide behind about P number 4. You see the 21 of TGM Beast, the 22 of Pop Bear, and that high side just keeps on rolling.
Definitely, and for guys that have practiced this for a while, Alpha mentioned how aggressive he was going to be, and he even talked about it before. And you can see the aggressive moves he's making, going for the win right here. But do not sleep on guys like the guys like NNR Trip or the 43 of Jose, who have snuck their way up to the front. These could be some guys that are sneakily trying to make their way up to the front, as the 16 dived it down low. The 21's trying to get a run on that middle lane, and then the 20, of course, trying to push this 48 to maintain that outside momentum.
Yeah, 20's still out there. He's got a couple cars right behind him as we go back to 3 wide. We are back with just about a full pack. You got about 3 or 4 cars a little bit further in the back, just a few stragglers, but we've got our main pack back. 21 of TGM Beast in back up front. 22 of J-Pa right up his trumpet, as the one and only Rick James would say. And then, of course, the 27 of Pop Bear and the 20 of King Mathers, all kind of nose to tail right now in that middle line where you can shove all the way around. Just got to be able to hold that very, very steady line. I know J-Paw's on a wheel. I know Pop Bear's on a wheel. I'm pretty sure King Mathers is on a wheel. The only one I don't know about is that 21 of Beast. And here comes King Mathers to the inside, ahead of steam, getting to just about the quarter panel at 22, losing a little bit of momentum. But here comes the 14 of Yotes King to come on up and give a little bit of a hand. Yotes actually ended up going down below the double yellow, didn't have anywhere to go. And here comes that power move again by that 48, except I think there's too much push on the outside. And no, he's going to be able to clear it again. That's twice we've seen the 48 be able to do that. We saw somebody else earlier. Has Alpha York actually figured out this draft package, where he can, where he can't go, and how to make that move? Phenomenal job.
Definitely, and this is what I was talking about earlier. These guys are going to open up their playbooks in a different way than we haven't seen before. Racing on different platforms like iRacing and such like that, these drivers are taking this different style of racing and different.
I can barely hear you, buddy.
Oh, can you get? Y'all got me now?
A little bit better.
Sure. Alrighty. Talking about earlier, the draft package is a lot different with this sort, and it provides the racing that we see on different platforms such as iRacing. That these guys are going all over the place and battling it out and trying out these different moves that, like you mentioned before, we don't normally see. And the slide job has proven effective not once, not twice, but 3 different times for 2 different drivers here this evening, and expect a lot more drivers to try to experiment and try that out as we try to head towards the end of this race with, I believe, less than 30 laps to go.
Yep, about to grab that lap count. Looks like Alpha York right now in the beginning of the trial, middle of the trial, end of the trial, at the line. That's how fast these guys are going. 23 laps remaining. 22 of J-Pod down low, 20 of King Mathers trying a little bit of a side draft. You got the 27 of Pop Bear right behind, but those guys cannot hook up. On that middle line, you got the 20 of King Mathers with the 2 of Holy Nugget right up his tailpipe. 14 of Yotes King, he's going around and around. Something happened there, but because it's Soul Car, I don't know if the game will read it and bring out the caution. They are pushing hard up on that high side. 22, he might not be in the catbird seat. Whole lot of hay working on the outside.
Definitely, and looking at these guys, like we mentioned before, the moves are going to be critical for these guys to see what they can and cannot do. And these guys, of course, a lot of talented drivers, a lot of experienced drivers. In my time being able to race for 4 or 5 years, there's a lot of guys I've raced with for a long time in here, and none of these guys you can count out, especially at Talladega, with a race that is known to be probably the most unpredictable. We've seen almost everybody lead this race that's been in the field so far, so expect almost anybody to be able to walk out of here the winner this evening. It's definitely going to be one that comes down to the line like we hope.
Yeah, it's going to come down to the wire, and it may just come down to a fender or a bumper cover. Looks like 48 of Alpha York now. He's up high, and for the first time, he's actually doesn't have anybody right behind him. I see the 27 of Pop Bear, see the 22 of J-Pot. Here comes the 43 of Jose 95 to give just a little bit of a shot, and now the 16, he's going to make that high side work. He's going to pull up to the 48, but it's going to be just a little too late. And no more momentum up there, just completely died. The middle is kind of where it's at, a little bit of a lag shot. Holy Nugget, he got sent to the outside wall. I'm not quite sure if that all happened with another lag shot from Pop Bear, or if it was the 2. I saw him kind of rubber band just a little bit ago as well. And yeah, it's definitely problematic when you're running 3 and 4 wide and at 210 mile an hour, like Shadow said earlier, going around this place. You can't have that. You got to be steadier. You've got to have a great internet connection. You've got to be wired, especially at these super speedways, which tend to show that, you know, that lag's ugly head a little bit more than a typical cookie cutter mile and a half or short track.
Definitely, and talking to one of our good friends that you've worked with him plenty of times recently, and definitely a talented man within his own right, VoltsFan88. This is one thing that he has mentioned so many times before, in which you know, it is so difficult for him to be able to run, him being stationed over in Korea at these restrictor plates, because of how much more lag is present on these restrictor plates, even to the point that we were streaming a different league's race a few nights ago on his channel, and I had to log into his stream just because of how much it was lagging on that, and so definitely not something that these drivers want to see here at Dega when it comes to these close quarter racing that we've been seeing all day long.
Yeah, I tell you what, this 48 Ally Camaro, he has figured out when to pull out with the most momentum and almost make the most passes. I would be we haven't had a game like that in a while where you're able to see how many laps you led or how many cars you passed or anything like that. I'd love to see how many times this 48 for Alpha York has been able to pull up, pull around, or pull above and grab spots. He's done a phenomenal job with it. He got into that early wreck before. It looks like he's been able to fix up most of it, been able to stay in the draft. Alpha York, I would imagine, has passed the most cars here tonight.
Definitely, and if I'm sure if we could, despite whoever wins this, if we could give a driver of the race award, I'd definitely give it to Alpha, especially for that rebound, and of course what you mentioned, what he's been able to do in this draft package and with that car, the multiple moves he's been able to make, and definitely he's opened up the playbook, I'd say, a lot more than the other drivers out here to what he's been digging down pretty deep in the different types of moves you can make in this interesting style of draft package. And like you mentioned, he probably has it well figured out and is definitely using that to his advantage as we skip into less than 20 to go in this race.
Yeah, I tell you, it'll be absolutely interesting. I think Alpha York, he's racing like that. He's racing hard. I think Alpha just wants the W. He doesn't have anything to lose. He can, whether he's up high, he can swing down low. He's not like, the 21, the 20, the 2, the main 3 guys that are highest in points. Even though we've had several different winners this season, winners from Amore Smoke to Bossy Geo. Looks like there is the 2 of Holy Nugget. Got a little loose in the back or made some contacts, maybe switching lines. Not 100% sure, but he spun by himself. So I'm going to guess we're going to stay green again. As always, we've got a battle up front. 13 of Bossy Geo and the 22 of J-Pine. That 22 Shell Pennzoil Ford. And here comes that high side. Look at King Mathers with all that momentum, but only one pusher behind him. Will the 22 go up and leave his J-Pine Militia buddy right behind? I don't know. 13 of Bossy Geo down low. We're going to see 4 wide here for P number 4.
And it's interesting enough that guys are turning up that aggression. I told you it was dialed to 11 I told you the aggression level was dialed to 11 to start this race. These guys, I think we've hit a whole new lever now. I think we're probably hitting about 20, 25, somewhere in there on the aggression level. They've already broken the scale at this point. These guys are throwing caution to the wind and just saying, hey, it's racing time now. I got to set myself up to be in position to get this win as the laps wind down, as we're pretty close, I believe, to nearing 10 to go. But right now, pit strategy is about to become an issue. On Alpha York's screen right now, he is on 2 laps of fuel remaining, so we have a pit stop before the end of this race. So these guys are setting themselves up not only for a possible win position, but also for a chance to have a good pit strategy as we near the end of this race.
That's very possible, but again, Alpha York has probably done the most amount of work in this field in order to jockey around and get his car in position in order to get to the front. Again, he's done everything that he possibly could to make sure he's made it interesting for himself. Anybody that's out here, they're going to want to go back. They're going to want to watch this race. It's not very often as a whole bunch of them come screaming into the pits. We'll have to see how many black flags. Here we are. There's 27 kind of tagged the 17 of Q-Dog, and he's going to have to bring it back around for a second time. Looks like he kind of spun. Pit road finally caught him. It'll be interesting to see how many black flags just got handed out. Normally, when you're going to pit at a place like Daytona or Talladega, you're going to want to collaborate with the people that you're racing with. Say, hey, I'm going to go high, you go low. Next car go high, then you kind of stagger them out. That way, you're not all one long nose to tail line going into the pits. And yeah, you definitely don't want that. Of course, here's the game. Hopefully the 20 and the 21 can sort this out. Usually anytime we see cars inside of each other, one usually gets turned. All right, looks like 21 checked up for just a moment. Let the 21 go. And here we go. Everybody's going to stay on this apron all the way to the backstretch, getting up all the way through the gears, first, second, third. Right about now, they're getting into 4th gear and able to pull back up on track. And Expert, that separated the entire pack. Now with limited laps, you've got certain people that you can work with and push. Now, with this rules package, you cannot hook up on that bottom line. You've got to move on up. So we're riding along with the 20 and the 21. They're hooked up. But then again, it's not for the lead. I think that was the one stipulation. Right now it's showing, I believe, whoever's right around the 48, or it might be the 48, as our leader. I'm trying to work around to try to find Alpha York now.
The 48 currently is our leader. Looking at his onboard, he sits in the lead right now. I believe it may be Not sure who's directly behind him, but in a actually it's the 41 right on his tail end, and a number of guys are all over his back bumper. But the 41's going to let off, it looks like, and not sure what's happening here. If he's going to try to lay back or form some type of strategy, but definitely it's going to be difficult for him to pass this 48 alone unless he pulls the slide job that the 48 has, I would even say, perfected so far in this race.
Yeah, the 48 of Alpha York has absolutely figured out what he can or what he can't do. So they are not on that bottom line. They can hook up all they want. Cape's out there wanting to know what the rules package is that I keep referring to. Cape, all race long, if you're on that bottom line, you cannot push the leader whatsoever, no matter where you're at. The only place you can be pushed is on the middle line when there's only three single lanes to go, or the top two lines going through the trial, which is where we're about to see the 48 and the 41 go. Other than that, on the bottom, you cannot push nose to tail whatsoever.
Definitely, you can see these guys. They're getting close to that line in which separates that rule right here. But Alpha, being smart, keeping his car above that specified line that doesn't allow the pushing on that bottom side. So he is doing, I'd say, the smartest thing possibly for him to protect this lead, as he has set himself up well, like I mentioned before, with the aggressive moves heading into that pit strategy. It's going to be interesting to see if any other pack can get formed up and try to chase these two down.
Yeah, it will be interesting. Again, the guys that are in the back, they can be on the bottom line right now pushing, because they are not pushing the leader to the lead. So we saw the 20, we saw the 21, we saw those guys back there, and I wondered how long it was going to take for a pack to get formed back up. Well, let's take a look behind this 48. Here is that gaggle, and it's only going to be a matter of time before they catch. You see the 43, you see the 22, you see the 20, you see the 27. You see a lot of very, very strong cars, which have led a lot of great laps tonight. But so far, even in this long conga line, I don't know exactly how much time they've been able to make up on Alpha York. Looks like behind Cole, which is the 41 pushing the 48, they are 3.2 seconds back. So 3.2 seconds, and as they come through the tri-oval, right now Alpha York is right in the middle, coming to the start stripe with the 41, full steam ahead. They've got 8 laps remaining. So we'll have to see if these guys can run down these leaders in 8 laps. Now they're 2.7 seconds behind. So in a matter of a lap, they've taken off just about, a half second. So, man, this is going to be a nail biter when they get to the line.
Definitely, and I expect them to be able to catch within the next 3 to maybe 4 laps to be right there on that tail end. So it's going to be interesting to see how can Alpha possibly block a run of this magnitude. With that big of a pack and being the amount of time they are back, they're going to pull extremely fast on those 2 drivers up there, and then being able to push on the low side. Once they get there, it's going to be interesting to see how they fan out and what moves that they're going to try to make, because once again, that rule is going to come into play. You can't push on the bottom line, so expect these guys to try to fan out, go to the high side, go to the middle side. Wherever Alpha York is not blocking, expect these guys to take advantage of.
Now, when Alpha York was about to go a lap down earlier, when he got a whole lot of damage, he absorbed a shot from the bottom line and was able to stay right there. I mean, that could have been like perfect practice. Now, as you said, the 22 of J-Pod, he's about to catch up with our leaders. He's going to have to give up the GOAT. The 43 of Jose 95, he has to stop pushing. And there it is. So the 22, he picked up the draft of the 41 of Cole 315, 43 of Jose 95. They stopped pushing. 22 had all kinds of momentum. Here we go to the bottom side. 48 of Alpha York down low. 43 of Jose to the high side. He's going to go ahead and get by all and try to take this lead. 48's got a little bit of draft on the bottom, but not much. As you can see, 22 is not locked bumpers. He is just there for that push without actually getting on the bumper. 48's going to move up, block the 22. Neither of these guys have anything to do with the championship. This is all about the W for these guys.
Definitely, and you mentioned what was going to be the strategy for that 48. Just like when he was let down, he absorbed that run on the bottom of the 22, and now with 5 laps remaining, getting nearly 3 wide once again for the lead, it's going to come straight down to the wire for a bunch of these guys to try to get up there and try to battle it out for this possible win, as J-Paw and I believe the 21 both make it 3 wide on the 48 as they all jockey for position here in the closing laps.
Yep, 27 of Pop Bear. He gave the 21 a little bit of a push until he got to the lead. Once the 21 got to the lead, he let go of the 21 of Beast. Now up high, 20 of King Mathers, 22 of J-Pod. Here comes the 43. Here comes the 48. They're going to be able to motivate on by the 21. He now has no help. A little bit of door contact between the 20, 48, and the 21. But no harm, no foul. Nobody got up into the wall. All are still on the gas. Nobody spun out side by side down the backstretch.
Definitely, and like I mentioned, this 43 has been sneaking up to the lead time and again, and he's right there on the bottom. But that high line looking to prevail once again, and these guys that have been so aggressive throughout the race, this is the time when what they've learned about this draft package so far, they got to take it into account right now, as several guys are that have lost the pack. They could be trying to build up a big run right here. As you see, Alpha York, not sure if he currently has the draft. Actually, now on his onboard, he does. He's all the way back in 10th place, but we've seen how quickly that can change for him as they try to battle it out up front. These guys could be building up a big pack or even just a short little run pack to possibly get a huge run and try to put their name into victory lane.
Talk about putting names into victory lanes and putting names on championships. The 20 and the 21 just ran just about an entire lap side by side. King Mathers, who might have this championship locked up, has the 21 at TGMBs. That's his main rival, his main competition. And you talk about that 48 huge run on the bottom, giving that 16 fraternal Order of Eagles Camaro a big shot. Because they're not the lead, they are pushing. 22 at J-Pop. He's got the top spot. King Mathers P2. Right now the fight's for P3 between the 16 and 21. Here comes the 43 to the outside. It is an ever-changing rotation of positions at Talladega with this package.
Definitely, and you can see I expect these guys to start making a lot more moves as the 48 moves to the high side with the run that he had, and is looking to possibly get around some of these guys, as it seems like the middle line is becoming the place you want to be here right now, especially if you're in the lead. These guys all trying to figure out room that they could possibly make moves, as they are 3 wide, it looks like, for the lead, and TGM Beast is going to be able to take the lead as we hit the white flag here at Talladega.
Yeah, white flag, big battle right now between the 21, 22, here's the 16, here's the 43 of Jose, 20 of King Mathers to his outside, working my way on up to the 22 just in case. They're going to try to fan out just a little bit, wrecking behind, 16, 20, 21, little bit of contact, and it looks like that is going to be the race. But where exactly did the caution come out? Did it come out as J-Paw in the lead? Did it come out with the 16? Did it come out with the 21 of Beast? We'll have to see. And
right now,
Game
J-Paw
says it's going to be J-Paw slowing in the way, and King Mathers as P number 3. So I think that pretty much seals the deal. In stage 1, we weren't able to catch the stage leader there. It actually ended up being the 13 of Bossy Geo. The 21 of TGMB's trying to do everything that he could possibly do to gain max points. He won stage number 2. J-Paw's going to win the most needed stage for the first time on any of my streams. J-Paw's going to be coming to the booth as a winner. The man's been knocking on the door on every single broadcast that I've run, just never quite able to get there. Tonight is the night. Ladies and gents, we're going to take a quick little break right here, but we're going to come back with all of our top 3. Shadow Racing will be in the booth as well to present the trophy to the one and only King Mathers, more than likely, and then we'll be right back. Keep it right here. All right, let's see. All right. Man.
I think that went well for despite me not being able to connect.
Yeah, no, it went very, very well. I appreciate you coming up.
Hey, no problem. Thanks for having me. It's an honor.
All right, we are back again. Definitely want to thank everybody for coming out, hanging out, chatting up, and keeping it right here. Rock NASCAR, big thank you again for everything that you do for the community. Thank you for the 500 bits. To Ellie, to Worm Rider, to SDN61 Nina. Thank you, Shadow. Definitely appreciate you for the entire series. More Than a Cape. And so many others. Definitely want to thank all of you for coming out, keeping it right here. You just saw one hell of a Talladega race, all courtesy of the one and only J-Pie and the rules package that he came up with. Once J-Pie actually works his way into the booth, we're going to speak to him. We're going to talk to King Mathers, and we're going to talk to our entire top 3. I'm going to tell J-Paw he needs to patent that and get a $1 every time somebody runs that package, because they're tired of the mundane, bottom line, conga-style racing that we see everywhere else. Phenomenal racing. Great idea for the man down in Mississippi. Just waiting still. Looks like, all right, so far I see King Mathers and I see J-Paw in the booth. I believe we're just waiting on one other. I believe it was, in fact, I don't actually see him in Discord anymore. Otherwise, I would just move. No, it's slowing in the way, right?
Yes, sir.
Yep, let's actually go ahead and move him on over to the booth. All right, so now we should have all 3 here. Slowing in the way, you came in P number 2, right?
Yeah, I got second tonight.
All right, so we're going to start off. Well, we're actually going to talk to this guy a couple of times then, I guess. King Mathers, it's repeat. You got me, sir. King Mathers, unmute that golden mic you got.
Pete, you got a copy?
I got you, sir. Man. A lot of great hard racing out there all day, all into the night long. Man, I don't know how many different people led laps, who led the most laps, who's got the most passes. I've got an idea in the back of my head, judging by how often I saw Alpha York come through the pack, pull the slide jobs, do whatever he could to possibly be up front. But right now, man, phenomenal race by you. You and TGM Beast and Holy Nugget at times were nose to tail or side by side. We saw a little bit of contact every now and then. When Beast took stage 2 and took most max points for that, did you have any kind of worry throughout this race that you weren't going to be able to come on through?
Yeah, honestly, I worried throughout this whole race, even before this race started. The nerves were setting in early. I got sick a couple times before the race, so I don't know if that had a factor in it, but yeah, it was just hard, aggressive racing from everybody. Can't help the lag spikes and the lag issues, and kind of screws everybody's race up and their strategy up, but Yeah, I did some flips early on in the race, early on in the stages, come back, and I don't know, I think I won it. I'm not sure what the points look like right now, but I mean, congrats to J-Paw winning it, and yeah, just I could have had a better race, but overall everybody could have probably had a better race, but yeah, I'll take third.
Man, you're absolutely going to want to go back and watch this race and view it as in the rear view. A lot of great side by side by side by side. At times, I think we saw 1 5 wide for about a split second until somebody said, this is nuts. Backed out of that, brought it back down to 4 wide, which you normally don't see. Congratulations on that P3. Don't go anywhere. We're going to be bringing it right back to you. All right,
Thanks,
experts, you've got slowing in the way, please.
All right, Mr. 16 himself coming home second. You were able to, in that final little bit, be aggressive enough to put yourself in position to get here in the booth and on that podium position. How are you able to do it, man?
Ruffled a few feathers in the process, I guess, but overall, it wasn't a bad race. I mean, it was a lot of tight racing. I really enjoyed this package that J-Paw put together for us. And I want to thank Unforgotten Shadow for putting this whole deal on, Repeat for always streaming it for us, and the whole rest of the field for racing. It's been great racing with you guys. I've had a lot of fun.
Definitely, and this is one race that I'm sure you marked on your calendar to possibly have some success at. Looking at the new package, you said you enjoyed it. What was some of the best parts that you think helped fit your driving style as far as allowing you to make up a difference of being in the back to being able to bring yourself up to the front so quickly?
Right. I'm that driver that at the plate tracks, I like to just ride the bottom and just kind of lift anyways and just leave a little gap, not run anybody over, because then you start getting the lag spikes and things like that. And I just enjoy that package. When you can get up on the outside and push if you want to go to the front. You can ride the bottom and just kind of ride there and save a little bit of gas if you want to do that. It just fits my style. I don't know what exactly about it does, but it's just a very enjoyable package for me.
Definitely. Well, you certainly impressed tonight being able to get up there in the P2. Congratulations, sir. Go celebrate.
Thank you guys. Have a good night. Thank you all for putting this whole deal on.
Well, tonight you were slow and in the booth, man. Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been looking forward to it. We almost got here. We got fifth a couple weeks back, and we almost got in. And then tonight we did it. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
You too. And then moving on, the man that has been waiting and waiting. Maybe I'll keep him waiting just a little bit longer. I don't know. J-Paw's just, he told me, he actually messaged me earlier and said, Pete, every time you don't broadcast, I win. So he's been waiting and waiting and waiting, and he's still waiting. Hey, Shadow. No, I'm just kidding. J-Paw! Hashtag J-Paw Militia. Buddy, it has been a long time coming. You finally get one of these W's where I get to call it, see it, enjoy it. Here you are, sir.
Yeah, Pete, feels good. I hate it ended how it did because I think I might have probably went to the back. They were getting ready to split me 3 wide there before that melee on the back stretch. But no, it feels good to always get in the booth, talk to you. I know you put a lot of work into what you do, and I want everybody on the track to put a lot of work into what they do to give you a good product. And I hope tonight, I kept telling them at the end of the stages, hey, Pete's loving this. Pete's loving this.
Oh, you better
Y'all
believe
keep it up.
Oh, yeah.
So I really hate that Expert wasn't able to stay in the lobby, but glad that he was able to come and help you out, and I hope he enjoyed his time too.
Definitely, it was a fun one, and I'm grateful for Pete as well. Definitely an honor to join up here in the booth. Sad I couldn't race, but happy to enjoy it with Pete side by side as well. So win-win either way.
Absolutely. Thanks to Shadow for putting this on, and he's putting up his own money for just people he has never met. So thanks to him, and congrats to Mathers on winning the tickets. Beast and Holy Nugget, man, both of them gave them a heck of a run. there. So he couldn't just rest today like most people do at Talladega in the playoffs or something. He had to actually go out and work for it. So, they congrats to them for finishing right behind an awesome driver like Mathers.
Well, J-Pa, man, I don't get to ask you this very often. I know there's going to be a hashtag J-Pa Militia in there somewhere, and you're probably about to name every single member that you've got in this posse. Give me some shout-outs, buddy.
Yeah, first of all, shout out to Chain Graboid. He is the actual inventor of this package. It's pretty much his idea. We've always run it in his league, and then of course my league. We ran it in NNR Xfinity, and then again tonight. So it creates that side by side. There's different parts of the race where you can save, like Slow said, and then there's times that you got to get up on the wheel and make some moves. Shout out to you. Shout out to Shadow again. The J-Pa Militia, of course, Beast, Cole, and Q-Dog were there tonight. And Cassidy's always on the sidelines cheering. So, thanks to everybody. Thanks to Rock NASCAR, our real community leader. And just thanks for, everybody coming out to watch.
There you go. Well, Shadow, you've been hanging out. I'm glad of all nights you've been able to get the night off, come out, hang out, enjoy a phenomenal race. That is one that you're going to want to, put aside and just go back and watch. All kinds of side-by-side, at minimum, all around this track, these guys were too wide most of, 98% of the time. In the end, even with multiple, different winners this season, King Mathers is able to not only, man, if the guy was physically or emotionally sick over this race, that just goes to show the kind of heart and soul, work, dedication, and time that the man puts into these races. He's in multiple different leagues. He's in NNR. He's in Turn Down for What. He's right here in Shadow. I believe he runs in America. Well, yeah, I don't have to believe because he's a Summer Series champion last year from American Ethanol. So that's just 4 leagues that I know of that he takes part in. He won the summer season champion in American Ethanol. Now he's this series champion for Shadow Racing League with a pair of race tickets on the line. That's phenomenal. Shows a pretty strong constitution by this driver. No wonder he's your champion, Shadow.
Oh, no doubt. It was especially with that huge field that had. I mean, you had names from Amore to Alpha. I mean, everybody in this league that decided to come out and run. They're from like NNR, Turned Out for What, Alpha. American Ethanol. I mean, there's a whole bunch. Like the list just goes on, and these are all top tier preset drivers, and it just makes me so happy from day one, seeing all these guys come out and just to be a part of my first league that I've ever put together, and it's definitely not ending. I'm gonna start the works of season 2 coming up, but just definitely congratulations to Mathers for sticking it out every week. Making sure he's on top, doing what he has to do to get the points he needs to win it, and definitely get with him to figure out what he wants to do. I kind of talked to him a little bit about it, but I'm super excited to see him down there in Daytona and experience, I believe, his first ever NASCAR race. Just seeing him I know he'll be a kid in the candy store. Because I was for my first race.
So was I. In fact, the first race I ever went to was Pocono, and I was in such a rush to try to get up into the bleachers. It was during qualifying. I wanted to see Dale Jr. out there at the time in the Budweiser 8 car. I stepped on the step rung, rolled my ankle, and ended up getting taken out of the track. and had to go back in later after I was
man.
able to ice it down for a little bit. So yeah, be careful. Don't do that. But yeah,
Oh yeah.
when he gets to or Daytona or wherever of all places, he's in for one hell of a treat.
Oh, for sure. And definitely plan on throwing some. It's called the Uno Fan Zone down there, to where you can go on the pit road and you can see the driver introductions. They'll have a pre-race concert. But when I went for the 500 last time, I was within like arm's reach of Jimmy Johnson, Alex Bowman, Haley Deegan. Earnhardt Jr. walked right in front of me. I didn't recognize it at the time. I kind of froze in shock, but just you see all these phenomenal drivers that are right there, and it's definitely a different view from being on the track pre-race than just sitting in the stands and watching everybody enjoy it. So I'm excited to see him on pit road, and hopefully he'll bug the crap out of bug the crap out of drivers for pictures, because every time I go on pit road I see Clint Boyer and Joey Logano. The list goes on and on. So I'm excited for him, and to see you, Alpha, and J. Paul and Papa Bear down there in Daytona in August.
Yes, sir. It's going to be one hell of a
I'm going to be
time.
like that little 5-year-old annoying kid pulling on every driver's, hey, can I get an autograph? Hey, this is my first race. Hey, I'm here. Hello. Oh, man, it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait.
No, I'm excited for you. If you want, I'll get you a little.
The best part about it is, man, is I get to meet, however many people are going to be down there. I get to meet you guys. Like, that's going to be the best part of it. Even though NASCAR I've never been into a race, but for you to do this, Shadow, means everything.
Oh no,
Thank
not at
you
all.
so much.
I wanted to be that one guy that give that huge prize away, and like I said, I appreciate you coming out and making it every week that you can, and everybody else joining up, because it's definitely hard to travel down all the way down to Daytona, especially being X amount of hours away, and the tickets are outrageous. But I'm blessed enough to where I can definitely give people that chance to experience their first race.
It's a little ways away. I'm in upstate New York, so pretty far away.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, King Mathers, I will make you a deal. All right, you get yourself down to right just north of Raleigh, North Carolina. Hang out with me for a little bit, and then we'll ride down together. Unless you plan to fly. If you want to fly, you go ahead and do that. But
I've never
the
experienced anything this big in my life ever. Like, I've never flown on a plane. I've never rode a train. I've never really left. I'm just like a homebound person.
Well, don't ever watch Final Destination 5.
Oh my God!
I already have. I watched all
Watch
5
Final
of them.
Destination.
You're gonna scar this man even before he makes his travel plans.
But King Mathers, seriously, all kidding aside, man. If you, I don't know how old you are, buddy. We're not that close. We've never really had that kind of conversation. But if you don't fly into Daytona, if you drive down, you're absolutely welcome to stop just about an hour north of Raleigh, 30 minutes from the Virginia line. Hang out with me for a little bit, and we can make that last 10-hour trip down to Daytona together. You and your missus, me and my missus.
Hell yeah.
There you go.
Sounds like a hell of a plan.
All right. So, Shadow, man, it's been one hell of a 3 months or so. It seems great 9 weeks. We've been everywhere from Daytona to Talladega. A few cookie cutters. We've completely mixed it up over these 9 or so races, all through the holidays, all through a whole lot of COVID issues. Some people, including myself, actually ended up catching it, but nothing can stop that Shadow train from rolling. And in the end, buddy, you showed a lot of heart, a lot of dedication, a lot of time, a lot of spirit, shelling out some of your hard-earned greenbacks in order to make something like Mathers come true for the first time in his life. Shadow, I thank you absolutely from the bottom of my heart for asking me to broadcast this, first off. And, man, it was a phenomenal time, phenomenal experience. It's going to be a great little off season. You've already put it out there in chat that there will be a season 2. Looking forward to seeing what that comes, how that shapes up. I think people that go back and watch this, you've got something to kind of push. Say, hey, go back and look at go back and watch these streams. You'll see exactly what kind of racing is put on. It's going to be one hell of a selling point. And if you want me to carry it, I'll be more than happy to. You're one hell of a guy. Biggest prize I've ever seen put up any league. Thank you very much, Shadow. One hell of a time.
Oh, no, sir. Thank you for broadcasting. I know you've got leagues, probably every day of the week, and it's just, makes me happy that you take the time to broadcast this week. And if you want to do season 2, you're the first one. You're the first person I will not hesitate to ever ask.
I definitely appreciate that. One more time, everybody out there, thank you very much for coming out, hanging out, chatting it up, keeping it right here. Rock, thank you for the bits. Expert Racing, Vols, Rick James, anybody else that's come out, especially tonight, Expert in Clutch, coming out. You lagged out, weren't able to keep it on the track. Thanks for stepping into the booth. Been a pleasure calling this race with you. Until Tuesday night, 9:30 Eastern, the NNR Truck Series, they're heading to Auto Club right around 9:30 Eastern. It's going to be a great time. 2 wide, fast. Definitely not going to want to miss it. Wednesday night, 8:30 Eastern, you're going to see again the one and only J Paz Xfinity LED Series. Get to the track, and then of course Thursday night, the Cup guys, they're going to bring it out west as well. I will see you all then. Until then, as always, wear your mask, keep apart. Let's get this COVID under control so places like Daytona can't charge $450 a ticket. I definitely appreciate y'all.